What is up, YouTube? Thank you again for tuning in. Welcome back to the channel. Got a pretty cool video for you guys today. It is honestly one of the positions that fixes so much in the golf swing, and I have so many students through the years that really struggle with this. And when you get that light bulb moment and when you understand it and do it, man, it just does so much for the lag, so much for the compression, so much for the club path, the club face. Like, it is just super important. So this video is going to be sort of directed at sort of one topic. I don't know how heavy the information is going to be, but like, there's going to be enough. There's going to be enough demonstration. There's going to be some good stuff in this video. I'm going to the range, just going to talk about it and demonstrate and show you guys that this position means a lot. Take this advice if you want. If not, move on. Another golf coach will have some other opinion, which is fine. But yeah, I like this move. This move really helps my golf swing, so I strongly believe in it. And I look forward to sharing this video with you guys. See you guys next at the driving range. Cheers. Okay, gotta loosen up that right elbow. Create some lag. Today's lesson is about the right shoulder and the whole right arm working in a more externally rotated position rather than an internal over the top position, cutting across, early release, whole bunch of missed strikes, things like that, because you know that's where a lot of amateurs go. Get it here, steep over the top, early extension, whole bunch of stuff happens when this is kicking in. So we want that right shoulder, right elbow to stay nice and loose, create lag, create some nice trap on the golf ball. So it's this feeling here. It's soft, 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 creating the lag, driving the elbow in, that position there, holding the wrist hinge here, then releasing more out here. The amateurs, they get tense here, extend there, get right shoulder internal, scoop, flip, waste all that energy before impact. So yeah, if we get tense here, fastest part of the swing is happening here, rather than creating the lag, holding the lag, hold, then we start to release and extend and sort of, you know, crack that whip more down there. Okay, so a good way to feel this, flip the club head upside down, do some swings. You don't want to whoosh it early. You want to hear that whoosh happen later. So I'm just creating the lag, snapping it at the ball to post impact. Do not snap that energy early, okay? Okay, so I'm a little bit more warmed up now. I'm going to change camera view so you can see down my forearm line soon. But basically what we're trying to do in the setup, we don't want to overreach this right shoulder, overreach this right arm. We'll have it internal. This is the bad position to be in to start, as where all amateurs start. Two over the top, ready to sort of wrist release and forearm release and shoulder release. We want to get that thing loaded in the setup, okay? So super important. A little bit of contraction back, a little bit of like a roll under. Almost feel like your forearm faces sort of out in front of you here. A little bit of connection, roll it under, let that right elbow sit a little bit lower. Because the right elbow in the golf swing actually gets under the lead elbow at impact. So we want to get it there. So if we're already on top, you can see how it's harder for it to get there. Okay, so right elbow tucks. I'll hit slightly fuller one here. Watch it shallow. Watch it stay soft when the downswing starts. That was a good one. So it was lag, compressed, release, simple speed. Okay, we're going up one club to 7 iron here. That was 8 iron before. But yeah, if you're really struggling, super soft in that hand. Right hand soft. Gets quite stable through impact, and then it can release. So you might want to hit, a whole bunch of these shots here. Bang, trapped it with very minimal effort. So let's say that's part one. We're going to go a little bit longer now. Create the leg, right elbow tuck, trap it, then extend. The way I feel it is right arm, right hand's a little bit softer. The lead arm, we create a little bit of connection here. A little bit more back of the lead wrist is sort of compressing through impact there. little bit of a block, but, you know, nice trap, nice lag. I'm just going to keep staging this up. So now a little bit further again. There. Right elbow trying to sort of tuck, connect to right, to lead elbow. Lag, 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 right elbow in the slot. Hold the lag as long as you can. Right elbow there, trap, and release, okay? Most amateurs release too early in the downswing. Going to go to the next stage now, a little bit fuller. Okay, one more from this view, and I'm going to go a little bit more down the line. That was a really good one. Very easy speed. Okay, so the position we're after, it's almost like a waiter holds a plate of drinks that way. I've got a plate of drinks, it should be pretty safe there. Back of the lead wrist hinges, right elbow kicks under, and you know, the drinks will be safe. If I'm getting internal, or the wrist does not have that flexion that it needs, I'm going to start, you know, obviously dropping the plate of drinks onto the ground. So it's a good way to think about it. Another good way is sort of this right elbow sort of skimming a rock. Because when we skim a rock, this elbow, very similar to the golf swing, it starts to get external, create the lag, whip it through. We get stiff and internal, I'm just going to sort of dump it down into the ground there. So I get a lot of students to actually do this to help loosen the shoulder up to first sort of understand this leg. That was obviously quite soft. Build up from there. You should have seen the whip in the right shoulder. That little move there. You know, not a whole lot of effort behind that throw, but you know, it still gets out of there. And it's going to go a little bit faster now. Add a little bit of hip turn and combining it with that sort of shoulder being nice and laggy. That's the move. Up, shallow, shallow, shallow. Elbow, trying to outrace the hand. Then the release happens. Up. That little move there. Elbow drives close to the lead elbow. That way. Right in the slot. Super shallow. Then we can rotate left from there. If we get internal, it's going to be over the top. It's going to chop across it. Okay, so wide backswing. Super shallow. Holding that leg, holding the leg. Getting the elbow down the slot. Firing the hips through. Oh, that was really good. It's flushed. Got one more 7-iron down the line. I'm going to hit a couple of 5-irons and then we'll call it. Keep it nice and simple for you guys. Letting that right elbow sit a little bit low. Don't get it here. Don't get too tense and set up. A little bit of structure in the scapula. Let the right elbow sit a little bit more quiet. Big turn through. Pretty good. Those two weren't too bad, eh? Okay, let's see if we can hit a good 5-iron straight off the bat here. Yeah, good compressed draw. Back into that left to right one. Hit two more for you. Now that they're a little bit fuller, watch the combination between the lag and the shallow right elbow and how the pelvis and lead hip opens. Because it happens simultaneously in the golf swing. And it's sort of how to create a lot of sort of freedom and torque and a lot of speed in the golf swing. You know, guys like Jake Knapp kind of have this style of swing. You know, they do sort of get a little more handsy through impact, but I think there's a good sort of happy medium to it all, where we do create a lot of lag, a lot of whip, but then we sort of stabilize through impact. I think guys like Adam Scott, Dustin Johnson, you know, a few others sort of do it really nicely. And then there's obviously the extreme that have a lot of hand rotation and a lot of timing involved in the swing. Which, look, if you know what you're doing, you can go down that line, but I sort of personally teach a sort of half sort of feel lag release method to half stability sort of compact style of method. Just a little overdraw there. But yeah, good speed there. And the speed happened with sort of minimal effort, which is, I think, the key to golf. It's not about just muscling it, because a lot of you don't know this move, and obviously this will take practice. Hopefully after today it gives you some, you know, golden nuggets to go be able to create this lag. But yeah, if you muscle it, if your technique in the downswing's not correct and you muscle it, it's just the smash factor or the input-output ratio, it doesn't quite deliver the impact. Get a lot of this sort of skimming the stone, you know, external shoulder mobility stuff down first, so we can, so it can help lubricate your golf swing to some extent. So one more flush one for you guys. Yeah, that's pretty good. Cool team. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learn how to create some lag, create some compression. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. See you in the next one. Cheers. One more. We're going to hit a bit more of a shallow fade because most of those shots were sort of little tight draws. There we go. Cool. Thank you.